Welcome back. You can see by that tree and this perspective, we're in the same place. I'm shocked. I'm shocked. You know, I'm not going to film unless I feel there's an artifact that is substantially worth documenting. For me, it's documentation. And there is. I dropped another group with my mittens back here. And there's a, good golly, a big Guilford. I can see the Guilford from here. Just hadn't seen it at this angle. Again, you never know. There's been a little bit of snow, at least the only little bit of snow we had this year, and some good rains, a good series of rains. You know, what we're looking at here is winter rye. You see it? The interesting thing about this winter rye is, if you go down here and you pretend you were a little teeny person, every one of these rows was humped up, and then this was split right in, and then the rows were humped up. And it was all this soft dirt. So with every one of these little humps, whenever it rains, gravity does its work and the dirt melts. That's all we gotta say. So it's an awesome artifact. Big Guilford, stay tuned. A little bit of wind. I know the wind was just bothering some people on the other video. Well, don't sweat it. Don't sweat. I don't sweat it. I mean, the wind reduces me out here, and if you couldn't hear me, well, I'm sorry. I'm just taking a little bit of venture down here because that Guilford I just found, I mean, if I'm within a stone's throw of another screamer, of another awesome point, I've got to make the effort. I said in the last video, and it's so true, you sort of always got to be ready to start finding. You know, I'm actually trying to get down there to where that big tree is. Something was going on down there. Something's going on right here on top of this rise, and then down there at Oak Waters. It's just nuts. As I was saying, get carried away. Welcome back into the wild. I'm seeing Flint. I won't slow down much for it, unless I'm sure. This is where I live, the city I live. This is all city land, and they have actually probably signed contract with an agricultural company, which happens, who does farm this. This was sweet potatoes, and then they've just put in winter rye. But because it's city land, you know, it's not necessarily a private owner. It's wide open. I don't see anybody else here, you know, but it's, unless you check the deeds and all that, you don't always know what land goes through in terms of its sale and then moving forward. So much better that they would sub out and contract a farmer than putting any of those solar farms in. I'm getting tired of them solar farms. What on earth? Too many of them. I'm keeping an eye out. We gotta do some more finding. Now look at this. What I want to do is I want to try to keep out of the frame. I got a group of artifacts that I found, and of course my mittens. Now the only thing in the frame now is the point that I saw. Find Guilfords that often. It's one of my favorites. So I circle around here. And I walk down and I just say, oh my word. And I just looked up and it was there. So I said, oh my word. Now, I've got some artifacts here. We got to check them out. But let's get a picture of this first. Looks to be a Guilford Yuma. Discoloration on the back side where it was hafted. My word, right? Well, look at this. Couple great points that I picked up. Little piece here. It's wet with puddles, so like I said, you can wash this stuff right off. Throw it in your pocket. Piece of quartz, crystal. It's crystal because there's a perfectly flat edge right there. Of course, it grows in spindles, and then they break it down. God knows where they found it. They must know the secret little caves. And look, perfect sort of uniface, although they did work it off the back. Thumb scraper. It's pretty flint, isn't it? Some piece of pottery. Some good finding going on. It's just humbling. It's just humbling. It's starting to get nicer. Trending towards 60 today. So let's check this out. Now, if you ask, man, what the world were you doing? You crawling around? Yeah, I was. I am. I just happen to have the time. Mercy. Let it speak for itself. Guilford Yuma. Appreciate everybody tuning in to Indian Trace. Of course, that right there. That's all Indian Trace.